This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Thursday, January 16th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. The federal government put me out of business. That was the message I got yesterday when I called Annapolis Cigar Company and spoke with Rome Zaffaroni, the owner. And yes, the Annapolis Cigar Company, which has been a fixture on Lower Main Street for 26 years, is closing their doors. Rome said that with nearly 35% of his business from the 18 to 21 crowd, and a recent amendment to the federal law raising the minimum age to purchase tobacco to 21, the business was just not sustainable. The amendment was signed by President Trump in December of 2019, and it goes into effect a little bit later this spring. Zaffaroni did say that the shop would be open this Friday and Saturday to take advantage of some increased foot traffic, but there were slim pickings with what was left. Now, Maryland did enact a 21-plus law last year, but they did exempt the military, and according to Rome, mids were a huge part of the business since the under-21 crowd technically can't drink in Annapolis. Always sad to see another business go out of business, and that was a really unique one to downtown. The Arundel County Police are investigating a fatal accident that happened on Tuesday afternoon in Glen Burnie. Jerome Johnson, 57, of Glen Burnie, was a pedestrian, and he walked in front of an oncoming pickup truck along Crane Highway near the intersection of Pershing Avenue. Police say that Johnson did enter the southbound lane directly into the path of the oncoming pickup truck. He was pronounced dead at the scene and taken to the chief medical examiner's office for an autopsy. The driver of the pickup truck, who's been identified as a 75-year-old man from Glen Burnie, did remain at the scene. And the accident scene did not have any crosswalks, as it is mid-block and it's in the middle of a commercial area. Police do say that the primary cause of the crash appears to be pedestrian error at this point, but the investigation does continue. Down here in Annapolis, the Annapolis Police Department is investigating an assault and a robbery that occurred on January 14th in HACA's Harbour House community. At about 8:30 p.m., officers were called to the 1100 block of Madison Street for a report of blood on the floor of a stairwell in the apartment building. They got there, they located the blood. They weren't able to locate a victim. However, one was located a little bit later on Hilltop Lane, which is about a half a mile away from the apartment complex. The victim did say that he was in the stairwell of the building when he was approached by a group of unknown suspects who assaulted him and stole his money. The victim did refuse medical treatment for his injuries. And speaking of the Annapolis Police Department, they made a good move the other day. They've hired a guy named Stanley Branford, who is a civilian employee, but he is a cold case investigator. Annapolis has several cold case homicides that need to be solved, and Chief Jackson tapped Mr. Branford, who's a 28-year veteran of the Baltimore City Police Department, who recently retired as a colonel and chief of the detectives, to come in and see what they could do for the city of Annapolis. Branford said he is going to be contacting families of victims to improve their role in the whole process of solving the crimes by providing them with more information, increased communications, and really involve them as much as they feel comfortable being involved. Of course, he does say that anyone with any information is urged to contact detectives or Mr. Branford by calling 410-260-3439, or you can call an anonymous tip line through Metro Crime Stoppers by calling 1-866-7-LOCK-UP. And finally, as we wrap up, this is some good news for the Anne Arundel County Public Libraries. They are set to open up a new branch in the Westfield Annapolis Mall on February 17th with a ribbon cutting on February 18th. We have had a library in the mall since April of 2018 when the Annapolis Library closed down to be rebuilt, and since then, over 100,000 people have passed through the doors of the library at the mall. Pretty cool. The old location will close on February 10th. The new location, check this out, is going to be 13,000 square feet, up from 3,500 square feet. It's going to have an expanded kids area, a 1117 club for teens, business meeting space, and dedicated space for library events. The hours of the new library will be Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays from 1 to 5. If you want to learn more about what the library is doing, you want to check out our Legacy Business Spotlight we did with Skip Auld a couple months back. Great stuff. We talked about this expansion at the mall. We talked about the new library in Annapolis and all the great stuff that the library is doing. All right, that does wrap it up for the top news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. If you are someplace where you can give us a rating or a review or a recommendation, please do that. It's Thursday. We have Trevor with your Annapolis Makerspace Maker Minutes, and as we have every day of the week, we have George Young with your local and dicey DMV weather forecast standing by. He'll be here in just 1 minute.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severn Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us. Men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severn Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, January 16th. Yesterday was a nice one following Tuesday's wet mess, and while today will be sunny with highs near or just above the 50-degree mark, a powerful cold front is headed toward the Annapolis region, and that means two things. Colder temps starting tomorrow, but before that, the region will see breezy to potentially damaging gusty winds that might hit 40 to 45 miles per hour at times today into the nighttime hours as the cold front moves through from the west. Then comes a cold and breezy day tomorrow to end the work week, with winds still gusting to 20 to 25 plus miles per hour, along with high temps only in the 36 to 42 degree range, which will set the stage for what should play out as a slippery, messy, wintry mix kind of morning on Saturday as some precip moves in before the cold air moves out, meaning some areas will see some sleet and or freezing rain along with a little snow mixing in as well, and some rain to go with it. With the bottom line being this, it'll come down to real time to know exactly what is going to fall and where, but plan for some slick roads on Saturday morning and hope it works out for the best with more rain than anything, but also know that all locations should switch to rain by 12 p.m. or so at the latest, so roadways should be okay for travel by the afternoon on Saturday before a breezy and cold Sunday with highs near 40 ahead of an even colder stretch next week with highs only in the 30s Monday through at least Wednesday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Hey, Annapolis, Eastern Shore, and Anne Arundel County. My name's Rick Peters, and I'm the president of Solar Energy Services in Millersville, Maryland. Need a new job in the new year to help take you in a different direction? Maybe you aren't feeling fulfilled in your current job and want to be part of the excitement and growth of the clean energy industry. Consider coming to work for Solar Energy Services and give yourself a new career and fresh start at a company that not only offers competitive pay and benefits, but also cares about our employees as much as we care about our customers. That says a lot because we've been in business for over 40 years, and we know how to provide 5-star service. Visit solarsaves.net or call 410-923-6090 today. We are hiring immediately for solar installers, drafting specialists, and commercial project managers as we prepare for another great year. Are you up for the challenge? Apply today. Sunshine's a wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
Every week, makers, crafters, and educators hold events all over the area. Highlighting some of those, here's our Maker's Minute, brought to you by Annapolis Makerspace.
Hey, this is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. Tomorrow night at Art Things in West Annapolis, they're having a teen figure drawing night for ages 13 and up, a guided figure drawing session that will teach teens to draw the human figure moving through 1-minute gesture drawings to learning to draw longer poses featuring a local cosplayer. All materials provided, but seating is limited. On Saturday at the College Park Aviation Museum, they're doing another one of their Engineering 101 workshops. This time they're making foil boats. Explore buoyancy and use that knowledge to design boats for ages 9 and up. Also on Saturday, but at the National Electronics Museum in Linthicum, is the MARC Winterfest. MARC is the Mid-Atlantic Amateur Radio Club, and their annual Winterfest is an all-indoor swap meet and auction open to all vintage electronics enthusiasts. On Monday, the Ray of Light Studio is having an alcohol, ink, and collage class at Local by Design in Annapolis Mall, a fun art class where you lose yourself through the color and flow of the inks, and then gain control back through the design of collage. You will explore how the ink's color expands as you paint with each dye, then cut it up and redesign your piece. At Art Farm this week, their kids' after-school winter semester continues, with printmaking on Mondays for ages 8 through 11, art discovery on Tuesdays for ages 6 through 8, street art lettering on Wednesdays for ages 11 through 16, and mixed media and bookbinding on Thursdays for ages 11 through 15. Also check out their adult drawing class, which continues on Tuesday. Heading on over to Maryland Hall, they have so many great programs and it's really difficult for me to highlight all of them, or even keep track of half of them, but sometimes something specifically STEM related stands out to me. So running January 4th through the end of February is Things Are Looking Down, Drone Photography by Rich Isaacman. But check out the public reception tonight from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Also check out Rich's drone photography workshop as well as his landscape and drone photo editing. At the Arundel County Public Library System this week, tomorrow in Deal they're doing Baby Artist. This open-ended art experience for babies and toddlers uses different art mediums and learning through play. On Saturday in Odenton, they're doing Strawberry DNA Extraction. Extract strawberry DNA with students from Arundel High's Science National Honor Society. Also on Saturday at Odenton, they're doing a build and play with Legos. At Unallocated Space in Severn, in addition to Unallocated's regular InfoSec night tonight, Project Night on Monday, and open house and lockpicking nights on Wednesday, be sure to check out this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, a two-part class. They're doing Combating Cyber Propaganda and Disinformation in a Digitally Illiterate World. Chris Sampson presents an active participation course that will engage you and give you the tools to understand, assess, and take action related to cyber deception campaigns. Participants who pass will be given a certificate of completion demonstrating basic knowledge of online propaganda operations. Chris is a chief of research and has been involved in various operations to infiltrate extremist groups, including ISIS, Al-Qaeda, white supremacists, and others, and is the best-selling New York Times author of Hacking ISIS. At the Pongos Learning Lab and Coder Kids Club in Crofton this week, on Monday, check out their Schools Out minicamp. 2 90-minute sessions, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, featuring activities from Pongo's various clubs, including 3D, VR, AR, Arts and Crafts, Builders, Coder Kids Club, Drone Club, Gamers Club, Robotics Club, Steam Club, Young Inventors, as well as their YouTube Stars and Animator clubs. Also be sure to check out all those clubs running weekly at Pongo's, and think of the minicamp as a sampler for all the things going on at Pongo's. And finally, this week at Annapolis Makerspace, in addition to our regular Thursday Electronics Open Night tonight, and Wednesday Woodworking Open Night, tonight I'll be doing a Raspberry Pi and Linux Command Line Basics talk. You can do a lot with the graphical interface on the Raspberry Pi, but usually you end up having to dig a little deeper to get the most out of it. There are a lot of great tutorials out there which show you the bare minimum, but I want to go over how things really work, so it's not just following a recipe when you have to get your hands dirty with the command line. And Tuesday is our monthly CAD and CAM and CNC with Fusion 360 course with Russ. And as always, you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night at Annapolis Makerspace on Renard Court for Electronics Night, and you can find links to all of these events at the Annapolis Makerspace website at makeannapolis.org. Whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
Have you ever been to the Annapolis Mall when it opens for the day? Maybe you've noticed the line of folks waiting to get into the Apple Store. As you may know, I'm a Mac user, and today's episode of the Daily News Brief, in fact, all of the episodes of the Daily News Brief have been produced right here on my Mac computer. What you might not know about is MacMedics. They were founded here in Annapolis in 1989, and they are an Apple-authorized premium service provider, the only one in the Baltimore, Annapolis, D.C. area. And what that means to you is that they repair all Apple devices, including the iPhone screens and batteries, all without an appointment. And most repairs are done the same day, usually within 2 hours. They also sell everything except the iPhone and the watch for the same price as Apple. I don't know why you would go anywhere else. Give them a call at 410-757-MACS, or if you're not into the whole letter thing, 410-757-6227. Stop by their retail store in Severna Park on Benfield Road, or their service center in Lanham, right off of Route 50. Or you can always check them out online at macmedics.com. I'll tell you, they've saved me quite a few times, and I know they can save you.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.